This is Sports Central on CBS 2 in high definition.
It's time to rock and roll. Good afternoon again, everyone, and welcome inside studio stage number 9 at the brand new KCBS KCAL Broadcast Center here in Studio City, the new home of Sports Central in HD. Alongside Steve Hartman and Big Game James Worthy, I'm Jim Hill, and we'll certainly want to thank you for joining us here on this truly historic day. You see, this afternoon, KCAL 9 and CBS 2 will make the leap into high definition, and we are honored to be the first show on the air. Big Game James Worthy. I can't think of someone better to have on the first show than you and Steve Hartman and Tommy Lasorda a little later.
Well, Mr. Lasorda for sure, but this is great. This studio is awesome. It's like Christmas in April. And I've seen a lot of studios, and this one is second to none.
And it's absolutely, it's almost like being in Steve's den over there, right?
Well, I don't know about the den, but I can tell you this. I mean, what you're seeing now is just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, we have unbelievable studios, so much to show you. And again, everything in high definition, which just brings everything to life.
So sit back and relax. The party is just starting as we're coming to you for the very first time in HD. So at this particular time, my friends, you may be asking yourself, how will Sports Central change the way it looks in HD? Well, not only will it feel like you're sitting in the studio with us, which is really a trick, you'll feel like you're right at the game. CBS 2 and KCAL 9 are the proud broadcast homes of Laker basketball, Dodger baseball, the PGA Tour, March Madness, and of course, the NFL. Now, our post-game and pre-game coverage will look just as good in high definition as if you're right there within it and looking at it, right? So here's a small sample of what Sports Central will look like in high definition.
Showtime, they want it. He'll give it to him. Got him. Shido puts his brand on it. Let's go! 1, 2, 3, dominate! First wave, and here he goes. It's Hester inside the 30. Hester's going to take it all the way for a touchdown. Here he's going long, and a man wide open. It's Wayne at the 15. He walks in.
That is just a small sample because, of course, we here at CBS 2 are really, it's just great, the coverage that we have. And, you know, James, when you think about HD and what a difference it's going to make for our viewing audience.
Yeah, clarity, precision, and, you know, if you can't afford to get a ticket, watching it in HD, it's like being there. I remember the first time I saw HD, and it was so clear. I felt like I was like 5 or 6 rows up from the game.
Stephen, you know what I wish? I wish we could have seen this one in HD, James Worthy.
Maybe we can turn back the clock and get the whole highlight reels of those short shorts in high definition. But, you know, like you said, James, I mean, it's the next best thing to be in there. And it is like being there. I mean, the clarity of the picture is, sometimes I feel like it's even better HD than I actually have on my own eyesight. Sometimes I can't even believe what I am seeing. Like you can almost feel like you could touch them in the high definition. And so, with all the great sports that we carry here on CBS, you know, the who's who of LA sports here at CBS 2, this is the only place to be if you can't get a ticket to the game.
And it's really amazing what modern technology has done to take the viewing audience right to the game.
Well, exactly. And sometimes when we watch each level and where they take the next step in all the technology, as great as the high definition is, I can only imagine what virtual reality, where you actually bring the games into your living room, it's going to be like that.
And of course, we will be starting with our really great coverage tomorrow with, of course, talking about the Lakers. We're going to talk about the Lakers in detail a little bit later on, but what a way to start, talking about the Lakers in Phoenix, trying to get into the second round.
Well, this was a team, too, Jim, that last year were up 3-0 last year. So if anything, they take some incentive, even though they didn't fare well against Phoenix and they do have Stoudemire back. I do think this is the team they wanted to play. and I think they can do some damage if they get a game.
Well, of course, the Phoenix Suns have been talking a little trash already. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. But HD is right with you here on CBS 2. Stay right where you are, my friends. We're just getting started on this edition of Sports Central's first ever high-definition broadcast. Coming up next.
We may be underdogs in the series, but we're not underdogs, in our own minds and hearts. We're going to go out there and play.
We're less than 24 hours away from the playoff opener between the Lakers and the Phoenix Suns. We will preview game number 1 of the Lakers and Phoenix and get inside analysis from our own Big Game James and his worthy spin. And we'll also add HD highlights and have those highlights about the other openers today, including the marquee game in the East between the Bulls and the world champion Heat. And later, third-round HD highlights from the Zurich Classic in golf that we will show you that was shown right here earlier on CBS 2. That and more when Sports Central's HD premiere continues.
We sell more, so you save more. Cerritos Auto Square.
Strong winds and sunlight. The Earth's heat surfacing is steam. Abundant sources of clean energy to help meet our state's growing need for electricity. Southern California Edison, an Edison International company, leads the nation in the use of renewable energy, enough to supply more than 2 million homes. And since clean energy is something we believe in, we'll keep working to bring the benefits of nature's power plants directly to you. For over 100 years, life powered by Edison.
Sure, I'm incredibly good looking and date hot models, but when it came to cars, I was stumped. Then I heard the buzz about this book. Every single page is filled with car wisdom. It helped me get a fantastic deal on a brand new Kia Spectra. 35 miles to the gallon and a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty program? What can I say? Chicks dig readers.
Hurry into your Southern California Kia retailers and enter for a chance to win an '07 Kia Rio.
Nobody can do what Maaco does. Maaco can repaint your entire car, fast, in most cases just a few days. Our economical ambassador paint service is only $249. Maaco delivers a quality paint service for less. How does Maaco do all this for as little as $249? Easy, because we paint more than anyone, and we can paint them for less. When it's time to paint your car, make it easy, make it right, make it Maaco.
Here's a live look at our new sports offices here in Studio City and our great staff behind the scenes. They're really hard at work, and with those big screens, it looks more like a sports bar than an office, which means we're going to bring you the very, very best, that's for sure. All right, my friends, the real NBA season is about to begin for the Lakers. Tomorrow, they open up their best-of-7 series against a familiar foe, the Phoenix Suns. Yesterday, head coach Phil Jackson showed the team a couple of movies in order to get them ready for this series. The Lakers won't need much motivation for the Suns, that's for sure. Last season, the Lakers lost the final 3 games of their opening round series against Phoenix and lost in 7 games. This year, the Lakers dropped 3 of the 4 regular season meetings, so it's easy to understand why Phoenix is such a heavy favorite. It's also why Phil Jackson selected the particular movies that he wanted to see to show the team. The recent failures against the Suns are a big reason why the Lakers are looking forward to this matchup.
We may be underdogs in the series, but we're not underdogs, in our own minds and hearts. We're going to go out there and play. We're going to get after it, and we feel like we can win this series, and we're going to take it a game at a time.
You've always said that you love a challenge, and because you are the underdogs, is this the kind of challenge that brings out or should bring out the best in everyone?
Yeah, we really don't have much to lose. We can just go out there and play and get after it a little bit.
We've seen this team a lot in the last couple of years, and we even had them right where we wanted them, 3-1. So we're a defensive play away from winning that series. So hopefully we can do the same things we did in those first 4 or 5 games. And win the series.
It was kind of famous when the playoffs began for interspersing movies in his video clips. What movies has he shown you guys so far today?
Well, we had Little Miss Sunshine and Hustle and Flow, and you know, the entertainment. Everyone kind of like helps, like I guess, keep focus.
Is there any particular message for the players of those clips that you showed?
You know, it's hard out here for a pimp, you know.
Absolutely incredible. Here are the numbers, my friends, on the Lakers' 4 regular season meetings with the Suns. They played them close in all 3 of their losses. They just couldn't finish the job. The big difference between this year's series and last year's series is that the Suns will have Amari Stoudemire, Game 1, tomorrow afternoon in Phoenix. And I can't think of anyone better to start talking about this particular series than our own big game James Worthy. And James, you know, this is really an amazing thing because the Lakers really feel like they can pull off the upset here.
Well, you know, they're confident because of last year, what happened when they went up 3-0 against the Phoenix Suns. But make no mistake about it, Jim, this is the most dangerous team, maybe with Dallas, in the league. And we're going to take a look at the Worthy spin and show you just how versatile they are. The Phoenix Suns, they do a great job of making the defense react, and they set a lot of picks. And here comes one. Now, when this happens, this makes the defense react. And when the defense react, you have to rotate. Now, Lamar has to help out on Nash. And when that happened, the Matrix rose to the basket right here. Now, Andrew Bynum at 7 feet, he's got to be the guy to step up because that's too easy for the Phoenix Suns. They'll eat you apart. Now, what they do is they make the defense move. If you overplay, they go back door. And 3 or 4 guys have to collapse. And, Jim, they're kicking it out. And when they kick it out, that's what they depend on. They depend on the defense not reacting, and then you just can't get back to them when they're shooting those shots. And it's very difficult to guard them. Now, here's another situation where there's a pick at the three-point line, and the back defenders have to squeeze early in order to take away the pick and roll now that they have Stoudemire back in the lineup and the Matrix. And you know what Nash can do. He averages about 14 assists, and all the Phoenix Suns average in the 4 games that they played the Lakers seem to increase. So they're going to have to get back in transition defense, and they're going to have to be deeper off the bench, in my opinion, if they want to keep up with Phoenix.
In postseason basketball, everyone talks about how everything becomes a half-court game. Phoenix loves to run up and down and up and down and up and down the floor. The Lakers also want to play up and down, but they prefer a half-court game. How are they going to slow Phoenix down?
Well, I don't think they're going to be able to because Phoenix is going to run. You might be able to control your half of the court, but they are going to run, Jim, and you have to have guys coming off the bench, Farmar, Buyer, Sachevich. Those guys have to be ready to make a contribution because you can't slow them down. I mean, Nash runs the ball, but they have other players, Barbosa, Bell, the Matrix. All these guys can handle the ball. I've even seen Stoudemire start a break. So this team is deep, they're dangerous, and you have to be willing to put out that effort against Phoenix Suns.
Steve, James just got through talking about Jordan Farmar. Now, we all know he had a great career at UCLA, but now he's just started the last couple of games. If he goes against Steve Nash, this is going to be really incredible what he has to accomplish here now.
Well, I talked to Jordan yesterday, and the one thing about Jordan Farmar, despite the fact that he just turned 20 years of age in November, he has an amazing amount of confidence. I reminded him just 3 years ago, he's playing at Taft High School in the Valley, and now he could be the starting point guard going against the 2-time league MVP, Steve Nash. Know this about Jordan Farmar. He is going to work as hard as he possibly can to keep his body in front of Steve Nash. I think what they want to do is to try to be physical with this team. You know, Phoenix notoriously is a finesse team. If the Lakers can get physical, especially on Steve Nash, maybe, big maybe, they can throw him a little bit off their game.
I noticed that maybe he put a little extra oomph into the
Little
maybe.
maybe.
Yeah.
It's a little maybe, but he's right. They got to make Steve Nash work on both ends, not just on the offensive end.
It's going to be a great best-of-7 series, the Lakers and the Phoenix Suns. Game 2 on our sister station, KCAL 9, which will be on Tuesday. All right, my friends, stay right where you are. Coming up next on Sports Central in HD, Kobe Bryant talks about exceeding expectations in the playoffs.
People are unsure whether or not we're going to get there. You know, so if we are fortunate enough to get back to the top of that mountain, the city might explode.
Now, few people expect Kobe to carry the Lakers back to the top this year. More of my one-on-one HD interview is coming up in just a couple of moments. Also ahead, 2 weeks into the season, the Dodgers are the best team in baseball. We will discuss their hot start with none other than Thomas Charles Lasorda And it's all next on Sports Central in HD.
Sure, I'm incredibly good looking and date hot models, but when it came to cars, I was stumped. Then I heard the buzz about this book. Every single page is filled with car wisdom. It helped me get a fantastic deal on a brand new Kia Spectra. 35 miles to the gallon and a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty program? What can I say? Chicks dig readers.
Hurry into your Southern California Kia retailers and enter for a chance to win an '07 Kia Rio.
Get a jump on summer now during Anaheim Patio and Fireside's annual Brown Jordan sale. New ideas, colors, and styles await you at very special sale prices. Save 10, 15, even 20% off. Elegant Brown Jordan, in stock for immediate delivery. Anaheim Patio and Fireside, since 1956. Superstores in Brea, Huntington Beach, and the Marketplace Irvine. Call 800-700-PATIO.
Colleen and Maureen are identical twins, have identical cars with identical auto body damage. They typically do everything together, with few exceptions. Colleen uses Mako, and Maureen another auto body shop in town. The results, both cars look great, but Colleen's car was repaired faster and cost $400 less. On average, Mako repairs cost 33% less than at body shops and car dealers. For quick service, great prices, and guaranteed seamless repairs, better get Mako, America's Cosmolution specialist.
I'm Lila Oliver, and this is my Toyota Prius Hybrid. It is the best car I've ever had. I'm helping out the environment. It's a smooth ride. It's got great acceleration. I'm getting right now about 45 miles per gallon.
And now, for the first time ever, get up to $2,000 in option package savings on a wide selection of new Prius hybrids.
I love it.
Your Prius is ready at your Southern California Toyota dealer today.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Kobe Bryant, and you're watching Sports Central on CBS 2.
And of course, we may add in HD for the very first time. Now, Kobe may not win the MVP award this year, but he had another MVP caliber season as he won his second straight scoring championship. In March, Kobe dazzled us all with 4 straight 50-point games, but as the Laker team had really a bumpy season going 42-40. With the playoffs set to begin on tomorrow, I sat down with Kobe and we talked about his 11th NBA year. This year has been a roller coaster ride for you and for this team. I know it's something that you didn't expect, and you've always said that you love a challenge. Well, you got a challenge this year because of all these things that have happened.
No, we do, and you know, and it's something that you have to respond to. You know, as a professional, and that's your duty. It's your duty to get to practice early. That's your duty to stay late. It's your duty to make sure that your body is getting healthy and that you're doing the things necessary to be ready to play, and to face these challenges. And you know, this is what we do. So let's embrace this challenge and let's take it.
You know, there are a lot of doubters out there. First of all, about if you get to the playoffs, how long you're going to be in the playoffs. But you are you're probably the most competitive, one of the most competitive people I've ever met. What will the playoffs be like for the Lakers this year?
We're gonna go get them. We got to go get them. I mean, it's as simple as that. You know, we don't have any pressure on us. You know, nobody's expecting us to do anything. Let's go get them. Let's not sit back and wait or, you know, absorb punches. Let's go out there and just start delivering some blows and have a good time doing it.
And your mindset completely changes in the playoffs, doesn't it?
Well, you know, in the playoffs, you have the opportunity to really focus on your opponent and really break them down and study them. And I think, you know, that's where we become much, much better. You know, last year was a great example of that and how well we were able to play Phoenix because we had an opportunity to kind of sit down and observe and watch and prepare.
I know there have been many people who've tried to describe you in a lot of ways. I was talking with Phil, and I want you to hear what Phil Jackson had to say when he was describing you. Here it is.
What we've tried to talk to the players about in the recent week, 10 days, is, you know, let's use Kobe's genius for what it is. He's a great scorer, and he can turn a game inside out.
Genius. Last time I heard someone call a person a genius was Ray Charles. I mean, that's That's pretty cool coming from a Hall of Famer like that.
Well, you know, he's the greatest coach of all time, and you know, to hear that kind of compliment from him, it's wow.
And your relationship with Phil this year is more than a relationship; it's a partnership.
Well, yeah, it is. You know, our relationship has done a complete 180. And, I mean, we're really, really close. Really, really close. I don't think people really understand, you know, how close our relationship is and how tight our bond is now, and you know, it makes things a lot easier.
Okay, we heard what Phil had to say, calling you a genius. If you were to look in a dictionary and see a picture of Kobe Bryant, what would you want the definition to be?
Oh man. Hopefully, when it's all said and done, I be remembered as you know, a winner, and a person who maximized his potential and who overachieved, worked extremely hard, and you know, if I can be remembered for that, I'll be pretty happy.
The numbers really tell the story, my friends. Kobe had another monster year that concluded with another scoring championship. Over 31 points a game, 5 assists, and 5 rebounds. The only question is, will we see Kobe Bryant the scorer or Kobe Bryant distributor in the playoffs? That's the big question. And when you think about it, James, you know, he can't carry this whole team in the playoffs. It's just an impossibility.
You know, Jim, a franchise player is only as good and is not going to go as far as his players around him. Kobe can succeed on an individual basis, but if they don't have, in my opinion, if they don't have Kwame Brown in the mix, and I mean consistently every game, if they don't have Kwame and then backed up by some support by Farmar and Sasha and Cook, no, Kobe can't do it by himself. It's already been proven that he cannot. I mean, just barely getting into the playoffs each year is enough, you know, notice for me to say he's not that type of a player. But he is a great player, but he's only as good as the players around him.
Kobe was talking a little while ago about, you know, how you changed when you were playing. How did your attitude, how did your demeanor change in the playoffs?
Well, in the playoffs, I mean, you're focusing on one team. I mean, I can remember on Sunday seeing Larry Bird, and then on Tuesday night seeing Julius Erving, and then having to see Bernard King on a Wednesday. You know, it was tough. But when you got one team to focus on, it's not as much travel. Your game should enhance during the playoffs.
And Steve, while we were talking about Kobe can't carry the team, certainly he has to average, what, 35, 40 points a game?
Well, first of all, there's a couple of factors. One, as you say, James, in the playoffs, no back-to-back nights. That should keep Kobe fresh. And I think what Phil Jackson is always saying is we want Kobe fresh in the fourth quarter so that his genius can take over the game at the end. Now, last year in the playoffs against Phoenix, his scoring dropped in those first 4 games, and the Lakers won 3 out of 4. Suddenly, though, after hitting the game winner in Game 4, he decided maybe I should step it up. And, of course, the other players lost focus and ended up losing 3 in a row. So I think they want to try at best to keep a balance, but somebody else has to step up on a consistent basis.
One of the good things they feel about it is that they are healthier now than they were, you know, maybe a month or 2 months ago.
Well, you know, they're healthier, but still some guys like Lamar's not 100%, Walton's, but, you know, 85, 90%, that's still good enough in the playoffs.
Game 1 of the best-of-7 series between the Lakers and the Phoenix Sun is tomorrow. Game 2, Tuesday on our sister station, KCAL9. Now with some more NBA action, my friends. When the Miami Heat won the championship last year, a team that gave them a real scare was the Chicago Bulls in the opening round. This year, they meet again in the first round, only this time the Bulls have home court advantage and the confidence that comes with 3 regular season wins over the Heat. Game 1 this afternoon in Chicago, and Shaq made his presence felt very early on. He scored 17 points in the first half alone. Shaq with the rebound and the jam. Still, the Heat trailed by 3 points at the quarter. Now, in the third quarter now, the Bulls began to pull away. I want you to check out this sequence. Rookie Tyrus Thomas with the block, and the Bulls pushed the ball right up the court. And with Thomas scoring on the alley-oop dunk at the other end, Chicago led by 11 points. The Heat rallied to cut the deficit down to 4 in the fourth quarter, but Luol Deng comes up in the clutch with the steal. He scores off the break, plus draws the foul. The Bulls go up by 9 points. Still, the Heat will not give up. That's because Dwayne Wade will come in and drive and gets the ball to Adonis Haslam for the basket. Miami trails by just 1 with less than 40 seconds to play. But the Bulls hit 2 free throws. Then Wade misses the 3-point jumper. That would have tied it. And Chicago takes game 1, 96-91. So the Bulls pick up right where they left off in the regular season as they beat the Heat for the 4th time this year. Luol Deng had a huge game for the Bulls, scoring 33 points and grabbing 8 big rebounds. Ben Gordon also helped Chicago's cause with 24 points, 11 rebounds, and 7 assists. All right, my friends, stay right where you are. There's a lot more to come on the premiere edition of Sports Central in high definition. Coming up next.
Everybody's having good at-bats, and everybody's rolling right now.
The Dodgers are off to an amazing start. We will recap last night's dominating win over Pittsburgh. And who better to talk to about the Dodgers than today's very special guest, Hall of Fame manager Tommy Lasorda. Tommy, come on down. You're next up on Sports Central on high definition.
Fall in love with Papa John's new Italian Meats Trio Pizza, loaded with hearty Italian meats, ham, salami, and sausage. Get a large for just $11.99. A large, just $11.99.
Sure, I'm incredibly good looking and date hot models, but when it came to cars, I was stumped. Then I heard the buzz about this book. Every single page is filled with car wisdom. It helped me get a fantastic deal on a brand new Kia Spectra. 35 miles to the gallon and a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty program? What can I say? Chicks dig readers.
Hurry into your Southern California Kia retailers and enter for a chance to win an 07 Kia Rio.
The deep sleep of a Sleep Number bed. It's a state somewhere between reverie and a spell. Science calls it REM sleep, but it's really enchantment. Almost 90% of people get more REM sleep using a Sleep Number bed because each side adjusts to give you your own firmness level. So get a number and then have yourself some enchanted evening. Find your Sleep Number at your local Select Comfort store today.
Traffic on the 101's backed up as usual, and it might be an hour or so.
Break away from your everyday.
Luck be a lady.
And escape to Pechanga, Southern California's favorite four-diamond resort casino. With 180,000 square feet of gaming thrills, featuring a stunning new poker room. Lady Luck has never been so close.
All right, man, high five. Come on, man, high five.
Pechanga Resort and Casino, close to you, far from your everyday.
Introducing the 2007 Cadillac CTS Bose Edition, complete with a Bose sound system, sunroof, leather and wood trim, and a 3.6-liter engine. Keep your ears on the road.
Purchase or lease a 2007 Bose Edition CTS, and we'll pay for the sunroof and Bose sound system.
Fall in love with Papa John's new Italian Meats Trio Pizza, loaded with hearty Italian meats, ham, salami, and sausage. Get a large for just $11.99. A large, just $11.99.
Welcome back to Sports Central in HD. Here's a live look at our news station's newsroom. It's really spacious here in Studio City. The crew is there busy preparing for tonight's 5 and 6 o'clock newscast. You'll see those shows later tonight in HD here on CBS 2. Okay, after a free spending offseason, expectations were really high for the Dodgers coming into this year. And things really couldn't have started much better for the Dodgers, as they have the best record in baseball at 12-5 after a win last night over the Pittsburgh Pirates. A muddy night out at Chavez Ravine after it rained all day long. But the elements just couldn't stop the Dodger offense. With 2 men on in the first inning, Nomar Garciaparra singles to right field. Rafael Furcal and Juan Pierre both score, and the Dodgers take a 2-1 lead. Now, Randy Wolf was just fantastic last night in his outing for the Dodgers. In the third inning, he gets a Xavier Nady right there swinging. That's his 5th strikeout of the game. In the third inning, the Dodgers blew it open. Luis Gonzalez singles to center field. That knocks in Garciaparra, and the Dodgers take a 4-1 advantage. And the monster inning just continued for the Dodgers, with them leading 6-1. Wolf does it with his bat as he lines it into right field into the corner there, and brings in Martin and Betterman, and the Dodgers take a commanding 8-1 advantage. But on the mound, Wolf really shined last night. The former Pepperdine star goes 6 innings, giving up just 1 run on 6 hits while he struck out 10, and the Dodgers won it 10-2. So with last night's victory, the Dodgers become the first 12-win team in the major leagues this year. Wolf picked up his 3rd win of the season, while Juan Pierre racks up 3 hits and scored 3 times. The two teams will go at it again tonight at Dodger Stadium as Brad Penny faces off against Ian Snell.
Everybody's chipping in and getting a lot of production, and that's what we're like, and that's the way it's going to remain that way.
Everybody looks good right now at the plate, and I think just everybody's approach is just to make solid contact. Everybody's having good at bats, and everybody's rolling right now.
You know, we're not gonna, hit too many home runs. I think, once the guys start getting hot again, I think, I guess we are hot right now, but once the guys start swinging the ball better and squaring up consistently, we'll start driving the ball to the ballpark.
So the Dodgers have the best record in baseball, in first place in the National League's Western Division, obviously with that record. And who else? Who else could we think of, guys, to come in?
There's only one.
There's only one. Tommy, thank you so much for being here on the premier show in HD.
Honor to be here. HD, huh?
Yeah, that's right.
Great. Jim said it's like Christmas in April.
I'm telling you, this is absolutely incredible. But Tommy, let's talk a little bit about the Dodgers, because I remember seeing you in spring training, and you weren't that concerned about the starting lineup. It was the bench that you were concerned about, and you told me if the bench is productive, we'll be really good this year.
Well, we have that. We've got a strong bench, and we've got a strong bullpen. Pennants, playoffs, and World Series are won or lost in the bullpen. You have a strong bullpen, you'll win. What the big thing is, you want to win them in April, because if you win them in April, you don't have to win them in September. That's the thing that we have to do. But the club has played extremely well. Everybody is shared in these victories. It's not been one guy standing out. But, they say we don't have any power, but you can win a lot of games without hitting the ball out of the ballpark.
That certainly is true. And the Dodgers have always prided themselves on pitching, and Randy Wolf fits right in with that right now.
He pitched an excellent game last night. He kind of reminded me of Whitey Ford pitching that kind of game.
What are his strengths, Tommy? Because, one of the things the Dodgers have always needed was a good left-handed starter.
Well, his strength is he plays, he pitches to both sides of the plate, and that makes him very, very difficult to hit. And also, he's got a good breaking ball to go with it. So he shows you a real good breaking ball, and then when you start looking for it, that fastball of his looks a lot faster in the eyes of the hitter.
One of the things that's really impressive about the top of the Dodgers batting order is Juan Pierre. Last year, he was the toughest player in the big leagues to strike out, so that means you can really manufacture a lot of runs this year.
Well, you have those two guys up top. They can create a lot of havoc, believe me. You get those guys running, stealing bases. This guy right here, Pierre, he can steal bases, and with Furcall hitting it right there with him. I mean, those two guys are going to put a lot of times runners in scoring position, and that means an awful lot. You get the base hit, the guy scores.
Big Game James Worthy is a huge baseball fan, that is for sure. But Steve Hartman, Steve is a Dodger fanatic.
Well, Tommy and I go way back on this whole thing about the Dodgers, Tommy, and I think we've waited a long time for, the kind of balance that we have seen in this Dodger team. And again, when we talk about Ned Colletti and what he has done, Tommy, he is a proactive general manager. He's always seemingly thinking a step ahead. And even if this team is playing well, he's still thinking all the time how to make this team better.
He's done an outstanding job. He came here and he put a ball club together that was very, very good. And he keeps on doing things to make the club even better. Like you say, he doesn't sit still. He works all day and night.
The ownership, Frank and Jamie McCourt have talked about doing different things every year. And they've done everything that they said they were going to do. They told Ned Colletti, go out and find the best people. They're doing all kinds of wonderful things out at Dodger Stadium for the fans. And it seems like things are rolling in an extremely positive direction right now.
Without a doubt. They are doing everything they can to where we can raise that championship flag once again in Dodger Stadium. It means a lot. He's trying to build up a ball club of consistency, an organization of consistency. Years ago, every organization in baseball used to say, we want to pattern ourselves after the Dodgers. Well, for a long time, we didn't hear that. Now we're getting back to that situation.
And you're sitting back and enjoying everything. Imagine, I've seen Tommy's home. He has this gigantic screen in his den.
High def?
Now in high definition. Yes, absolutely. You can see us in high definition now.
Oh, that'll be great.
We can count on it, Tommy.
We can count on Tommy. Tommy, my brother, thank you so much for being here with us.
Always
He's our
good
first
to see
guest. Kind of cool, huh?
Of course.
The skipper.
Good
Tommy
to see you.
Lasorda.
Could have been
Good
no
to
one
see all
else.
of you.
Yeah, of
Great
course
to see you,
not.
Tommy.
Absolutely. All right, my friends, coming up next, my sit-down interview with Phil Jackson of the Lakers as he talks about how they can advance as underdogs in the playoffs.
I don't know. We haven't seen that, have we? We haven't seen that finish at the end of the season we had last year. We can't hope for something that's a remarkable thing.
Even the coach doesn't know exactly what to expect in the postseason. He breaks down the Suns next in my one-on-one interview, and we'll have more analysis from Big Game James Worthy as the Lakers head to the desert for Game 1 against the Suns. That and more when we continue with Sports Central.
Sure, I'm incredibly good looking and date hot models, but when it came to cars, I was stumped. Then I heard the buzz about this book. Every single page is filled with car wisdom. It helped me get a fantastic deal on a brand new Kia Spectra. 35 miles to the gallon and a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty program? What can I say? Chicks dig readers.
Hurry into your Southern California Kia retailers and enter for a chance to win an '07 Kia Rio.
Your 3 medium Pizza Hut pizzas.
That's only $5 each, right?
Yes, sir. Thanks.
Honey, the Pizza Hut kid made a mistake again! I got 3 medium Pizza Hut pizzas for the same price as those other guys!
It's no mistake. Pay just $5 each for 3 medium, 1-topping, hand-tossed Pizza Hut pizzas. That's right, just $5 each. Want more value every day? Get America's favorite pizza, Pizza Hut.
Get great online deals when you order from pizzahut.com.
Nobody can do what Maaco does. Maaco can repaint your entire car fast, in most cases just a few days. Our economical ambassador paint service is only $249. Make it easy, make it right, make it Maaco.
Mom said if I got an A, we could get Reese's Shakes at Baskin Robbins.
See you in the car.
New Reese's Shakes and Sundays. It's candy bar madness at Baskin Robbins.
Hey, neighbor, getting the 3-burner grill, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going with the 4-burner with
Infrared technology.
Oh, is that the 4-seater? Yeah. Mine seats 6. Oh, and he's got the beverage center.
I go with the Choice Deck or the Trex.
My deck's gonna be 10 by 15. Maybe 2 decks.
At Lowe's, you'll find everything you need to make your backyard the best one on the block.
Check out the gazebo. You got a gazebo.
Lowe's. Let's build something together.
Use your Lowe's consumer card and pay nothing for 12 months on any purchase of $299 or more.
Introducing Infinity Acceleration Swell Technology, designed to unleash power in a way that feels virtually endless. The all-new 306 horsepower G from Infinity. Now lease an Infinity G sedan for $379 a month.
I'm Phil Jackson. You're watching Sports Central on CBS 2.
Hall of Famer, right? Phil Jackson has won 9 NBA championships, but few expect him to win a 10th this year. The Lakers are heavy underdogs in their first-round series against the Phoenix Suns, but Jackson doesn't think that the challenge that lies ahead is an impossible one. You see, I sat down with the Hall of Fame coach recently, and we talked about the upcoming playoffs. When you get to the playoffs, what are some of the things that you stress during the playoffs that you don't stress during the regular season because of the intensity that's there?
You take risk out of your game. In the regular season, you'll allow, second quarter, up tempo the game. You have, maybe 3 or 4. Sometimes I'll have 5 guys that are bench players that'll be out there on the floor playing. In playoff games, you don't allow that risk to happen. You usually probably have a couple of your starters that'll be out there. Your rotation shortens from maybe 10 players down to 8. And then you start playing the chess game at the end of the game or second half where everything's pretty much close to the numbers. So every possession becomes very important in the playoffs.
It would seem that the team that you would have maybe the least amount of comfort against in the playoffs would be Phoenix because they have so many athletes on their squad.
Yes, it is, but we felt good about Phoenix because of our history last year in the playoffs. We think we know what to do. We know that their game, that fast break, high-powered offensive game, has a tendency to fail in the playoffs, and you have to get down to those half-court executions. And your adjustments to the little stuff, the little fancy things that may happen as opposed to solid basketball, really come into play at that time. And I thought we played Phoenix to a standstill last year, but lost.
I know you don't like to use the word revenge, but what about motivation? Could there be some extra motivation for you?
Well, there's no doubt about that. We like the fact that it's close. It's territorially. It's our conference or division, I should say. It's an easy short trip for us. This is a nice, matchup. Nash is pretty much a genius with the ball out there on the floor, knowing what to do. Barbosa has arisen as a star. And the other really athletic players, Marion and Stoudemire, can do a lot of things offensively that change up ball games by playing above the rim or getting runouts or passes and completing at the basket. So those are the things that really kill us.
How far do you think you can go realistically in postseason play?
Well, I told this team last year after the playoffs, if you guys come back and play with the kind of intelligence that you showed me in the playoffs last year, you can get through the first round of the playoffs and do something bigger in the playoffs this next year. I don't know. We haven't seen that, have we? We haven't seen that finish at the end of the season we had last year. We can't hope for something that's a remarkable thing. But if we get Kwame back and he gets playing, and we get Vlade back and our bench back in a position where they can give us the kind of unique play that we had mid-season, we can do some things.
And of course, game 1 tomorrow, game 2 on Tuesday, right here on our sister station, KCAL9. But James, we talked a little while ago about half-court offense in the postseason. That means the Lakers have got to have big play from their big men.
Yes, they do, Jim, and they have to be versatile and more so on the defensive side than they do on the offense. I think the defense will dictate what they do on offense, but this is a team that has to rebound because Phoenix, even though they don't have the traditional big man with Stoudemire and Marion and then Kirk Thomas coming in, they are very, very flexible, and they get to the rebound. They average 12 rebounds against the Lakers, and they turn those into points. So the big men have to get it started on the defensive end. And I think Kwame, looking at Kwame, he is the key. He is the X-factor guy that has to try to neutralize a little bit with Stoudemire, maybe get him in foul trouble, but he's the guy that has to establish himself inside.
Stephen, as far as Coach Jackson is concerned, this year with the injuries and the slumps, this has really tested his patience.
Well, it's the kind of team that he's really not comfortable with. When he took over for Doug Collins in Chicago and Del Harris in L.A., they overcoached superstar players. He undercoached them, allowed them to really dictate what happens out on the court. But now he's got a young team that really is looking to him for guidance, and he's just not the kind of coach that does that during the course of a game. He's about preparing a team in practice and expecting a team to be responsible enough to carry out what the game plan is. And unfortunately, they just haven't done it enough times.
So the Lakers are in Phoenix right now getting ready for game number 1. Game number 2 will be on our sister station, KCAL9, on Tuesday in high definition. Speaking of that, more HD highlights are on the way on this edition of Sports Central Saturday. Coming up next, we will recap today's third-round action in golf of the Zurich Classic of New Orleans. That and more when Sports Central continues from our new home here in Studio City.
Surprise! I got a few things for the backyard.
Whoa! How much did you spend?
I went to Ross, so it's more like how much did I save?
The outdoor living event at Ross. The savings are incredible.
Sure, I'm incredibly good looking and date hot models, but when it came to cars, I was stumped. Then I heard the buzz about this book. Every single page is filled with car wisdom. It helped me get a fantastic deal on a brand new Kia Spectra. 35 miles to the gallon and a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty program? What can I say? Chicks dig readers.
Hurry into your Southern California Kia retailers and enter for a chance to win an 07 Kia Rio.
If you're thinking about a career in law enforcement, then serve with the best, the California Highway Patrol. Call 1-888-4A-CHP-JOB.
The deep sleep of a Sleep Number bed.
It's when the unconscious takes over to perform mind-body maintenance. Think of it as a leisurely trip to the land of renewal. Almost 90% of you sleep in this deep state longer with a Sleep Number bed. Just set your side to your own comfort level. Then, where you go after that is up to you. Find your Sleep Number at your local Select Comfort store today.
Explore Southern California in a new Chevy, like the HHR and Equinox. HHR can go up to 450 highway miles between fill-ups. Equinox has the most rear seat legroom of any SUV. Both get top 5-star crash test safety ratings and are backed by the best coverage in America. Better than Honda, better than Toyota. Use bonus cash to get a safe and economical 07 Chevy HHR LS starting at $15,345 with eligible vehicle trade-in.
Surprise! I got a few things for the backyard.
Whoa! How much did you spend?
I went to Ross, so it's more like how much did I save?
The outdoor living event at Ross. The savings are incredible.
Welcome back to Sports Central as we take a live look inside the control room where the A-team is making the magic happen. Our producer, AJ, along with Manny, Carlos, Orlando, Bill, Nick, Balky, Chris. Gentlemen, this sounds like a couple of law firms, doesn't it?
There's nothing in there. Look
Look at everybody's
folded.
Oh,
Everybody's
folded
their
in.
arms folded.
But
There's
they
nothing
seem
in
to
there,
actually
man.
be at their stations today.
We can't forget Linda and Barbara out here in the studio with us, all part of the All-Star team here, Sports Central in HD.
I don't know about that back row back there, kid.
They were just joking, guys, just joking. With Zach Johnson's Masters win just 2 weeks ago, and it's behind us now, the PGA Tour is now starting the long build-up to the U.S. Open in June. 47-year-old Mark Calcavecchia has been reborn this year. He's already notched a win on the Pods Championship, and he took a one-shot lead into today's third round of the Zurich Classic in New Orleans. Plenty of players in the field today wearing Virginia Tech hats in honor of those killed in this week's tragedy. Sacramento native Nate Watley right here had a strong round today. On the 7th hole, he gets the birdie putt to drop. That put him at 9 under par. And then later on the 10th hole, this is Watley's second shot. His approach is very nice. It ends up about 15 feet away from the cup. He would make the birdie and move back into the lead all by himself at 10 under par. But the low round of the day was turned in by Ken Duke. On 18, he makes this birdie putt. Duke shot a 6 under par round of 66 and ends up at 10 under par. Later on 13, Watley right here drops in the birdie putt from the fringe. He moves to 12 under par with that fine effort. Then on 14, Calcavecchia also had a birdie putt from the fringe, and the ball drops right into the cup. Calcavecchia moves to 10 under par with his fine round. Once again on 16, Watley has yet another birdie putt from the fringe, and one more time, he gets it to fall. That gives him an even bigger lead at 13 under par. So 25-year-old Nick Watley shoots a 4 under par round today and goes into the lead on Sunday with the lead, looking for his very first career victory on the PGA Tour. Second round leader Mark Calcavecchia had a rough day. He shot an even par round of 72 and fell into a tie for third place. You can see the final round tomorrow right here on CBS 2, obviously in high definition. You could do some damage out there. You don't let him fool you, Steve. He can play.
I can caddy pretty good. I'm a good caddy. I don't know
I do a lot of damage on the course too, but not putting the ball in the hole.
Yeah, that's right. It's really amazing. We got the Masters behind us a couple of weeks ago. Now we talk about getting ready for the Open, and now this gives some more golfers an opportunity to fine-tune their game.
I love when we see like this Nick Watley. This is the kind of situation. We had Zach Johnson, of course, winning the Masters. But you talk about Watley. Here's a young guy. He's looking for his first PGA Tour victory, and understand what goes with that. He wins this tournament, he gets to play in next year's Masters. So here's a 25-year-old kid. He's been waiting his whole life for an opportunity, first of all, to get on the PGA Tour. And now he finds himself probably a little restless tonight. 2-shot lead going to the final round, understanding everything that goes along with winning a PGA tournament. First of all, not only does he qualify the Masters, how about a 2-year exemption on tour? That's right, 2-year exemption if you win one PGA tournament. So, it's going to be very interesting to see this Nick Watley, 25-year-old young kid, whether he can pull through. Because if he does, it changes his life forever.
You know, a couple of weeks ago, Zach Johnson, not too many people heard about him. Here's Nick. A lot of people haven't heard about him, so who knows? You'll find out, my friends, tomorrow when you see it right here on CBS 2. All right, final thoughts and tomorrow's exciting PGA schedule when Sports Central continues. But first,
Sure, I'm incredibly good looking and date hot models, but when it came to cars, I was stumped. Then I heard the buzz about this book. Every single page is filled with car wisdom. It helped me get a fantastic deal on a brand new Kia Spectra. 35 miles to the gallon and a 10-year, 100,000-mile warranty program? What can I say? Chicks dig readers.
Hurry into your Southern California Kia retailers and enter for a chance to win an '07 Kia Rio.
Before we move on to Section 42, are there any questions on Section 41? 41? Anyone? 41 questions.
Supernatural British Columbia. The kind of place you daydream about. Just a 3-hour flight from Los Angeles. It's home to Vancouver, Victoria, and Whistler. Where city getaways and outdoor adventures are just minutes apart. But before you start packing, call now for your free BC Escapes Guide. It has more than 50 pages of insider information to help you discover British Columbia. Plus, your BC Escapes Guide has over 100 accommodation offers, like 4-star hotels from $91 per night and complete vacation packages from Alaska Airlines. Your free BC Escapes Guide is only available by calling 1-877-GUIDE-71 or at guide71.com. And now with more than 10 daily non-stops from Los Angeles, getting away from it all is easy, no matter what your schedule. Order your guide in the next 10 minutes and you could win one of 3 MacBooks. Plan your escape today. Call 1-877-GUIDE-71 now or visit guide71.com to request your free BC Escapes Guide. Supernatural British Columbia, Canada.
All right, my friends, the high-definition action continues tomorrow right here on CBS 2 with the final round of the PGA Zurich Classic of New Orleans. Sports Central, of course, will follow the round with post-game reaction and HD highlights of Game 1 between the Lakers and the Phoenix Suns. And speaking of the Lakers, you can see Game 2 against the Suns on our sister station KCAL 9 on Tuesday night. Coverage begins at 6:30, and you'll see it all in beautiful HD, of course. All right, let's get some predictions now. Big game tomorrow, Game 1. Let's talk about the importance of Game 1, especially when you're the visitor.
Well, it's important to come out and establish yourselves. Don't think about winning or losing, but establish yourself, particularly on the defensive end. I don't think Phoenix is going to allow the Lakers to win Game 1. They're that good. I'm looking for the Lakers to go in, maybe get a little moral. I really don't believe in moral victories, but get a little confidence and then come in Game 2.
Quickly, Steve.
Well, I agree. I think the Lakers are saving themselves for the HD on KCAL 9 for Game 2. So Game 1 will go to Phoenix.
All right. Game 1 goes to Phoenix.
You want me to
Tommy?
be truthful?
Oh, I would expect nothing more.
I'd take Phoenix.
Is that right?
Yeah, I hate to say that, but that's the way I look at it.
Why do you say Phoenix? Because
they have a better ball club. That's simply the
Simple
answer.
as that.
Simple as that. And
I
sometimes the
agree with
most
Tommy.
difficult things are the simplest, right?
Simplicity is the key.
So what do you think? What do you think of the first day here, huh?
Well, I think it's great. That's like Jim said. It's really beautiful. I'll tell you that. And when you come in here and sit around in here, I mean, it's not like you're really going to work. It's beautiful.
Tommy, thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for being there. We'll see you tomorrow right here on CBS 2. Gentlemen, in HD.